The 1977 anti-Tamil pogrom in Sri Lanka followed the 1977 general elections in Sri Lanka, where the Sri Lankan Tamil nationalistic Tamil United Liberation Front won a plurality of minority Sri Lankan Tamil votes in which it stood for secession. Around 300 Tamils were killed in the riots and thousands of leftists were driven from their homes. The massacres were initiated and actively backed by the Sri Lankan government in power. Background: after the independence and especially after the Sinhala-only Act of 1956, Tamils parties were asking for more power for north and east of Sri Lanka, where Tamils are the majority. Some have gone further, asking for a federal system. There were many agreements with the prime ministers, but nothing implemented. Finally, the desperate Tamil leaders decided that there is no point in coexistence and only solution is a separate state. In 1974, all major Tamils parties representing Tamils in the northeast Tamils came under one forum, and in 1976 they adopted a resolution at the party convention in Vadakodai, Jaffna, calling for a separate state. In the election of 1977 happened on July 21, 1977, the Tamil districts voted almost entirely for the Tamil United Liberation Front, a political party in Sri Lanka to openly advocate separatism of the Tamil regions of the country. For some years, there had been sporadic attacks on army and policemen in the Jaffna region by militant Tamil youth groups, which consisted a handful of members advocating separation through violent means. The new Prime Minister, Junius Richard J. Vardion, was convinced there was a link between the TULF and the militants, and wanted to suppress both. Anti-left pogrom. Prior to the 1977 elections, Junior J. Vardion promised that he would give the police a week's leave so that his supporters could attack members of opposing parties. After his victory, his government launched unprecedented state violence against the opposition, targeting supporters of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the Lanka Sama Samaha Party, the Communist Party of Sri Lanka, and the People's Democratic Party. In particular, some 9,000 families of supporters of LSSP leader Nanomita Perera in Yatyantota were driven from their homes, many of which were destroyed. The ethnic pogrom. There were different beliefs on how the riots started. Some believe they started when there was a dispute began when 4 policemen entered a carnival without tickets. Apparently the policemen were inebriated and proceeded to attack those who asked for tickets. The conflict escalated and the policemen were beaten up by the public, and in retaliation the police opened fire. Others have the view that the carnival incident was a pretext. Inquiries revealing that it was conducted in an organized manner and was hence a pre-planned attack. The riots started on August 12, 1977, within less than a month of the new government taking office. Walter Schwartz wrote in Tamils of Sri Lanka Minority Rights Group Report 1983. The trouble began in Jaffna, capital of the northern province, when Sinhala policemen, believed to have been loyal to the defeated Sri Lanka Freedom Party of Mrs. Bandaranaike, acted provocatively by bursting into a Tamil carnival. In the violent altercation that followed, the police opened fire and 4 people were killed. A wave of rioting followed, spreading quickly to the south. Among 1,500 people arrested were several well-known Sinhalese extremists, accused of instigating violence against Tamils. Edmund Samarakadi in Workers' Vanguard reported, "The outbreak in mid-August of the anti-Tamil pogrom has brought out the reality that the Tamil minority problem in Sri Lanka has remained unresolved now for nearly half a century, leading to the emergence of a separatist movement among the Tamils." As on previous occasions, what took place recently was not Sinhalese Tamil riots, but an anti-Tamil pogrom. Although Sinhalese were among the casualties, the large majority of those killed, maimed and seriously wounded are Tamils. The victims of the widespread looting are largely Tamils. And among those whose shops and houses were destroyed, the Tamils are the worst sufferers. Of the nearly 75,000 refugees, the very large majority were Tamils, including Indian Tamil plantation workers. Government response. Questioned in Parliament by Amir Thulingam, Prime Minister Vardion was defiant, blaming the riots on the TULF. People become restive when they hear that a separate state is to be formed. Whatever it is, when statements of that type are made, the newspapers carry them throughout the island, and when you say that you are not violent, but that violence may be used in time to come, what do you think the other people in Sri Lanka will do? How will they react? If you want to fight, let there be a fight. If it is peace, let there be peace. That is what they will say. It is not what I am saying. The people of Sri Lanka say that. Finally, on August 20, the government ordered curfews and deployed the military to quell the riots. Aftermath. More than 75,000 plantation Tamils became victims of racial violence and were forced to relocate to parts of North and East Sri Lanka. The events during the pogrom radicalized Tamil youths, convincing many that the TULF's strategy of using legal and constitutional means to achieve independence would never work, and armed insurrection was the only way forward. The outbreak of the pogrom highlighted the TULF's inability to provide safety for the Tamils. It was only after the pogrom, the TELO and LTTE, that two major Tamil liberation groups began an active campaign for a separate Tamil Elam. Uma Maheswaran, a TULF activist, joined the LTTE in 1977 and was made the organization's chairman by Velupillai Prabhakaran. Many such Tamil activists began to join various Tamil militant groups to fight for separate statehood.